All right, hey guys, and welcome to Stock Talk on September 24th. Let's take a look at what we have here in today's market. So today is Monday, and you can see from the S&P 500 on the yearly chart, the SPY, that we've constantly made a higher high, and you guys know from the tone of my voice in past videos that I've been rather bullish, and really any kind of dips I find myself kind of going, and that this is myself entering into the markets. And you guys can see from today that we came down on the S&P 500, but once again, it's a mixed bag. While the Dow and the S&P 500 came down, we had the NASDAQ rising up for the occasion finally. So what are we seeing, right? We're still seeing a very definitive uptrend. I showed you guys a pretty valid support line at 289.44. Are we going to get there? We could. It doesn't have to, but you guys can see that market trends continues to fluctuate, and this is pretty much normal market behavior. But the one thing that you guys want to realize is that the Fed meeting minutes, in which we do expect an interest rate hike, so that's probably already factored within the markets, is coming out on Wednesday, so the day after tomorrow. So, if there's some volatility, that's normal, right? As we are nearing to that date. So there's a couple of things that I saw. One was the markets, part of the markets, and at one point, all the markets were down at one point today. And the stocks, a lot of the stocks were in the positive. If I could just arrange this list for you guys, you guys can see that a lot, and the majority of my stocks are in the green. So that was something interesting to note. I'll show you guys TVIX, or volatility. So here's volatility. I ask you, look at these candle sizes. Is there any volatility in those candle sizes? Right? And you would say, well, no, Kevin, of course not. And we would both be right? So right now we see that volatility has been rejected at the 20 period and the 50 period moving averages, and really we don't see a reversal or a major sell-off in the markets, number one, or a major volatility increase or spike. And therefore, you guys can imagine, as we're potentially making newer lows by the day, volatility is something interesting to look at, but really not investable at this point. All right, let's take a look at your commodities. Crude oil, number one. What's new with crude oil? We've been really talking about crude oil and the potential for it to move to the upside, right? And it was rather predictable. This was one that I have felt, that was kind of just really easy to predict, because everything I kind of predict has so far come true for crude oil. We saw a pretty definitive uptrend, and how did I know that we were on an uptrend? Well, you guys can see the confirmation of the support on Friday at 70.24, followed by the up move today. Where are we going, guys? Where are we going in terms of crude oil? Well, here's the next line, right? This isn't really rocket science. It's not 74.32. That's the next resistance. And that is generally where crude oil will be gravitating towards in the near future. Guys, if you don't believe me, feel free to visit my past videos. Go a week back, 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, and take a look what I said about crude oil. Well, that's something interesting if you guys want to kind of go back and review. All right. And in the meantime, if you guys do enjoy these videos, you know what to do. Hit and smash that thumbs up button, because that's what it's all about. Doing it for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and hit the thumbs up button in return. Okay. Next, natural gas. All right. So we got a couple of members in our group, in our Discord group, who was looking for a natural gas resistance, right? The resistance to act as a resistance, 2.985. Now, a couple of things to be cautious of is, right now we have a close above the resistance. Now, I'm going to, there's a couple of things I'm watching. It's close above resistance. That's natural gas. So if you're shorting natural gas, that's already a danger signal, right? Now, how many times in the past have we closed over the resistance and, what happened? So once, right? Obviously over here. But then we got a massive rejection. So you can imagine that even tomorrow, okay? This is something I'll be watching. I'm not in natural gas or anything or shorting natural gas. But if tomorrow we come down and retest this support at 2.99 or 2.989 and we start bouncing off of the support, what do you think is going to happen? Well, chances are that is validating that area as a possible support, and therefore there would be higher prices to come for natural gas. Guys, you guys can identify all these trends that I talk about intraday while the market is trading every single day. Any kind of ticker, any kind of ETF, any kind of stock. How do you do that? Well, yeah, I provide all the information in my course, right? So you guys can check out the course in the link in the description box down below. But there's natural gas. That is what I'm looking for in the near future. Now, if we see 2 continuation moves back to the high side, that's, then you just got to cut your losses, in my opinion, at that point. But, that's how it is. You guys can see that natural gas has been bullish. Where's the next resistance? Should we move higher? Well, you guys should know that the next resistance is at 3.165. Should I mark this in for you guys? Probably, right? All right, guys. All right, guys. And let me know how you guys are doing. How are you guys enjoying today? It's a Monday, but I think, fall is here. The weather's getting cooler a little bit depending on where you are in the States, or if you're in Canada, maybe it's kind of mild and cool a lot of the time. So, guys, how are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments section down below. You guys can post tickers that you guys want me to analyze, as well as just chit chat if you want to. So that's the next resistance that we're looking for. Let me just actually zoom out on natural gas and just take a look at some of this. That's interesting, yeah. So that would be a pretty high. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at /GC or gold futures. So for gold today, pattern hasn't changed, right? In the past videos, we've talked about a consolidation move sideways. What is that a metric of? That's usually a metric of a push to the upside. Note how long we're consolidating sideways. Pretty long time, right? I don't mind that, right? Because you guys can imagine gold has been falling for quite a while. If you guys can imagine, this is a 1 month gap from here to here. It's a 1 month decline, 1.5 month decline. So why not consolidate for a while for that possible move higher? I'm not saying that it will. It could push the energy to the downside, but the greater chance is for this to push to the upside, and therefore I'm looking for a close over the resistance, right? 1211.6. Has that happened yet? Well, it's happened in the past, but this wasn't really a definitive move higher. This was a false breakout, and you guys can see the more definitive line is pretty much around that 1211, 1212 area. Got to see it close, got to see some more buyers in here. Otherwise, it's just flat. So that's gold for you guys. Gold seems a little deceiving because when people think about gold, they attribute that to like money, and I believe the majority of people who go into gold actually lose money, and that's just something interesting to note. So just me and you keep that in mind. All right, we're gonna tackle your tickers. Adrian, with the ticker Tupperware. So guys, if you do submit your tickers, and I thank you guys for doing that, please put the ticker in there so that I can see it easier. Thanks. So Tupperware, whoa, this is on a pretty dramatic downtrend. So yeah, so in the course, you guys will know, what's a good opportunity to enter versus, you're getting a good price for the stock or ETF, but is this the opportune time to enter? Because even though you're getting at a cheap price, doesn't mean that it's going to start turning around when you buy. And this is one of those examples where you guys can see that, You know, today we got a rejection off the 50-period moving average, and this is, you know, we don't see a definitive sign of a reversal. This could easily continue to move downwards as the momentum has been pushed downwards. Looking at the 3-year chart, right, there's really no stopping this at the moment. Hold on. let me just zoom out. Wow. Yeah, there's nothing doing for this one right now, so be careful. Zhang, amazing, always right. Well, I hope so. JA, you're saying DGAZ looks good. So as you guys know from watching my videos, or if you're new, welcome to the channel. DGAZ is inverse natural gas, which means as natural gas pushes higher, DGAZ would go lower. So initially, DGAZ was looking good if you were looking at pre-market, but then once the market opened, you guys can see how natural gas pushed higher, right? So, you know, it's not looking good anymore for DGAZ. You guys can see how fast and quickly we declined. Here's the next semi-support. I don't really like to mark these supports that strictly, but I'll mark it here just to show you that the yearly support is 1786. We're getting close to that area. Doesn't mean we have to bounce off of it. Remember, we'll have to look for a confirmation. No confirmation here yet. So, DGAZ. All right, David. Hey, welcome back. How about Netflix? Have not seen that done in a while. Yeah, so Netflix. You know, this is one I've always liked. Netflix is one that I felt like, you know, when we're down here, we're pretty much getting at a discount, you know, because there's certainly potential. And I feel like Netflix at some point will get over that 423.21 high. And that's just my speculation. You guys can imagine if my speculation pans out, yes or no. But, you know, this one looks good, right? Today we had a massive up move. Well, not really massive, over 2%, but based off the candle size, it looks pretty massive. You know, Netflix looks good. Now, you know, we want the NASDAQ to be pushing higher in the meantime, so we'll be tracking the NASDAQ component as well. Looks good. Where's the next resistance? Well, if you guys had to pick a resistance, the resistance would be around 382 to around 390. It's a large area, yes, but, you know, that's what we're seeing right now. So far, Netflix looks good. Good job, David. Space Ghost, MU is toast. MU is toast. That's interesting. All right, Texas Instruments, and yeah, please submit the ticker symbol. Texas Instruments. Interesting. What do you guys see on Texas Instruments? Where do you guys see potential in this? That's my question for you guys. Where do you guys see potential? All right, so here's my gist on Texas Instruments. Does this look good? It looks great. You know, what's wrong with this chart? Really nothing wrong with the chart as we are moving higher. It looks great. Now, you know, the question really is, you know, the magical question is, do you have the patience to hold this one? Do you have the patience? Yes or no? In the short term, it could get rejected and come back down just a tad bit. That's certainly possible. Or it could go higher, right? But, you know, the general trajectory is to the upside. Could it start reversing from here and move on up? Sure we can. Yeah, sure we can. But you guys can see that, you know, it could take 1, 2, 3 weeks before that move to the upside. Right now, where are we? You could say that, okay, we're around 2 weeks time period. Nearly there, but this is a good one to look at. Good job, K9, for taking a look at this. Now, another thing I want to point you guys to is, you know, you guys can see support areas down here at 98.73. You know, that could be where, you know, if you would want to take an entry point, if you're not in it already, you know, that could be the area where you would pick your spot to enter, you know? So again, it's all about patience. You know, if you have the patience to wait it out for a potential move to the downside, there you go. If you feel like this is the best opportunity, then you could certainly enter, but this is a good pattern. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you once again for all of your submissions. I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe it's gonna be a late night stock talk if there is one, because I have quite a bit of errands to run tomorrow. In the meantime, hopefully you guys enjoy these stocks. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it, and I will see you guys soon. Take it easy, everyone.